Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Eliza Petrie. First tonight, an emotional day in court as jurors heard testimony in the murder trial of Sean Grayson for the first time. Grayson is the former Sangamon County Sheriff's deputy accused of killing Sonia Massie in her own home after she called for help. You're looking here in a second at mugshots of Sean Grayson, starting when he was first arrested in July of 2024. Since then, his appearance has drastically changed, as you can see. We know the former deputy battled cancer before his arrest, and his health has been the subject of some hearings when his lawyer has fought for pretrial release. Despite those pleas, he has remained behind bars. This is Grayson's most recent mugshots taken when he was transferred to Peoria County Jail for this trial. And today in court, the most powerful moments were those when the jury was shown body camera footage of Sean Grayson shooting and killing Sonia Massie. For some of the audience, it was their first time seeing the unedited version. Fox Illinois Spencer Davis joins us now to break down the reactions our team noticed during the viewing. Spencer.
Our Monique Davis shared extensive notes throughout the day, including the reactions from both the Massie family and the Grayson family. Please be advised, the following footage is disturbing and may not be suitable for everyone. Throughout the showing of the footage, Sean Grayson glanced up only a few times. Our team says they saw Grayson yawn several times during the viewing, either staring straight ahead or looking at the floor. When the video first began, members of the jury were noticeably attentive, focused on what was being shown. But when the shots were fired by Grayson, multiple members inside the courtroom began to cry. A woman sitting on Sean Grayson's side began to cry, while Sonia Massie's mother, Donna, began to sob, eventually escorted out by Sonia's cousin, Sante, and other members of the family. As the video continues to play, the lone black man on the jury was visibly bothered, lowering his head and closing his eyes. Other jurors continued to look, some taking notes. As the footage continued to play, all jurors started to watch again, and Donna and Sante Massie returned, both visibly distraught. James Wilburn, Massie's father, remained stoic in the courtroom throughout the video. Tissues were passed among the jury as Grace's own body cam footage began to play.
I'm not even gonna waste my med stuff then.
Grayson leaned forward, staring at the floor. Some of his supporters were also hunched over, not watching the screen. Jurors watched on, with one's mouth sitting slightly opened. Donna Massie, Sonia's mother, was visibly upset for at least half an hour after seeing the video, according to our team in the courtroom. Reporting for Fox Illinois, I'm Spencer Davis.
Thank you, Spencer. Today marked the first day of arguments after the previous two focused on jury selection and other motions. And the day began with opening statements just after 9 this morning, with Sangamon County State's Attorney John Millhiser addressing the jury. He provided a timeline of the day Sonia Massie was shot and killed. Millhiser explained the 3 counts of first-degree murder. Count 1 alleges Grayson intended to kill Massie. Count 2 states he knew his actions would kill her, and count 3 covers doing an act and knowing there's a strong probability of death or great bodily harm. And next up, defense attorney Daniel Foltz addressed jurors. He told jurors, quote, "There is no crime if you decide the shooting was lawful," end quote. Foltz went on to say what happened to Massie was a tragedy, but not a crime. Following opening statements today, the prosecution called its first witnesses, with 4 taking the stand today. Dawn Sterling is here to break down that testimony. Dawn?
Well, first up was Lieutenant Eric Weston from Illinois State Police Criminal Investigations. He has supervised the investigations of more than a dozen officers involved shootings. Weston said he couldn't make up his mind whether the shooting was justified after watching the body cam footage, so he turned it over to the state's attorney. He also testified Grayson worked for 6 different police departments between 2020 and 2024. The second witness of the day was Catherine Barton, the Sangamon County dispatcher who took Sonia Massie's call for help the night she was killed. Barton testified Massie called because it sounded like there was someone outside making noise. She classified the call as a prowler and dispatched deputies to check it out. The jury then heard that 911 call. Up next, possibly the most impactful witness of the day, Sangamon County Deputy Dawson Farley. He was Grayson's partner the night Massie was killed. Farley stated he did not feel threatened by Sonia Massie and said he just wanted to do right by her and her family. He described trying to stop the bleeding after Massie had been shot. The defense tried to poke holes in his testimony, saying he had initially reported feeling threatened, but amended his report after Grayson was arrested. And the last witness of the day was now retired Deputy Chief Anthony Mayfield from the Sangamon County Sheriff's Office. He testified Grayson violated policies, including use of force violations, standard conduct, activation of body-worn camera, and medical response violations. The defense did not cross-examine Mayfield. Testimony will resume tomorrow at 9 a.m. and we will have a crew in the courtroom again for that testimony.
Thank you, Dawn. And while we are not allowed to have cameras in the courtroom, our reporters are taking notes of their reactions of both the Massie and Grayson families. As you can see on our X feed, Massie's cousin left the courtroom in tears after Deputy Farley testified that Sonia said, "Please don't hurt me," when she answered the door. During Farley's testimony, Grayson was fidgeting in his chair, eyes locked on his former partner. You can follow along by following Fox Illinois on X, on Facebook, or on foxillinois.com. And tonight in Springfield, the Massie Commission held a feedback session focused on mental health and emergency response. The commission was set up by the Sangamon County Board following the outcry over Sonia Massie's death. Its goal is to make recommendations to improve county law enforcement. A final meeting is set for next week when the commission will make its final recommendations. The managing director for the commission laid out what to expect.
They should expect to hear each of those 26 calls to action. They should expect to hear them voted on, that they're going to be ratified at that meeting. And after that is when the work starts. This was, this is not the ending of it. This is just, we're finishing one portion.
That meeting is set for 6 p.m. on Monday at the Memorial Health Learning Center on West Miller Street. And make sure you do not miss any of our trial coverage throughout the week by heading over to our website, foxillinois.com. You can also get live updates on what's happening inside the courtroom by following our X account. Welcome back. Here is a witness recap from the trial today. As mentioned, 4 witnesses took the stand today in the Sean Grayson trial. First to the stand was Lieutenant Eric Weston of the Illinois State Police. Second was Dispatcher Catherine Barton. And the most impactful witness of the day, Sangamon County Deputy Dawson Farley, who was Grayson's partner the night Massie was killed. And finally, retired Deputy Chief Anthony Mayfield also testified. Mayfield said Grayson violated department policy the night Sonia Massie was killed. And 16 witnesses remain for the prosecution, most with law enforcement backgrounds. The list includes 2 lieutenants from the Sangamon County Sheriff's Office, 6 members of Illinois State Police, and retired officers from Georgia, South Carolina, and Elgin. Experts like forensic pathologist Dr. Nathaniel Patterson and state crime lab analysts are also expected to testify. And even as the trial gets underway, some are questioning the makeup of the jury. Fox Illinois' Emily Jordan is breaking down how one prominent organization invested in accountability for Sonia Massie's death is reacting. Emily?
I spoke to Dr. Kelly Hurst, the managing director for the Massie Commission, who told me she's disappointed with the final turnout of Sean Grayson's jury. As we've reported, the final jury selection isn't statistically representative of Peoria County's demographics, with a majority white jury. That includes the initial jury pool as well, from which all jurors were selected from. Only one of the jury members is a person of color, including the alternates.
The whole reason that we're here is for love of Sonia Massie and her family, and a community that said that that's not good enough for us. To not include their voices is diametrically opposed to what the Massie Commission was formed for, to actually listen to those voices. It just means that this is another voice, another population that is not being heard from once again.
Dr. Hurst said that she's looking forward to seeing what the rationale was for the final jury selection. She argues that it's not as if Peoria County didn't have Black women in the county who could have served. Earlier this week, I spoke to Christian County State's Attorney John McWard about how the jury selection process works. McWard says both the prosecution and defense are looking for jury members to appeal to their argument. I asked how those influences are balanced to keep jury selection fair.
It's really based on just the jury pool. So it's not strategically we're sending jury subpoenas to one neighborhood over the other. It's supposed to be a fair cross section. Whether or not a fair cross section, we don't know what that's going to be.
McWard explains that jury selection is a randomized process, usually based on voter registration data, but it doesn't always guarantee a diverse jury. I'm Emily Jordan reporting.
Thank you, Emily. There were 48 total potential jurors interviewed. Also, outside the courthouse, demonstrators continue to support the Massie family throughout the trial as they hope justice is served.
No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no
Supporters plan to continue rallying until the trial is over. And make sure you don't miss any of the trial coverage throughout the week by heading over to our website, foxillinois.com. You can also get live updates on what's happening inside the courtroom by following our X account.
Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and be sure to watch more videos from Fox Illinois.